I was crossing the road yesterday and nearly got knocked down by a car. Quite traumatic. I've been thinking about it and I've been having a lot of, not say nightmares, but I have been just like, every time I think about it, I just start shouting random things quietly, if you know what I mean. It was an experience which really sparked my idea of life because there were two thoughts that were running in my head when it was happening. The first was, I think the hospital bed will be very nice and comfy. The second was, that could be it. Good thing that I'm taking this like a joke, but I think in my entire life, with the stuff that you know about me, you start to realize that I have been quite accustomed to death. A lot of the things that I talk about death is how life comes about. My entire life is based off me wanting to leave anyway. And now I'm at a place where I am driven to live a lot. And that is something very inspiring, I guess. But in the bigger picture, the entire week was filled with quite sad vibes, you know, a lot of funerals that I was going to, a lot of sudden deaths that were happening, and you know, it just accumulated all the way up until the weekend. That was the experience. I would like to conclude that probably it's not the driver's fault. Probably we can say that, oh, the driver was having a bad day, but at the same time we could say that I was a bit careless and quite dumb in the point where I was assuming that people would slow down for you because that's what people normally do, but that is not normal technically. So I guess it was a bit my fault. But at the same time, I'm thinking, well, I think it's also me with bad planning because there are people in front. I couldn't jump forward. I couldn't jump backwards because there were more cars. I could jump to my right hand side, which will go right into the car, or left right into the car too. So I just froze. I'm telling you this because I feel it's still very fresh in my brain and I just needed to tell someone. The moral of the story here is, be safe, don't dream, and also that was my weekend. Something else that also happened on the weekend was that I collected my race pack for my marathon run, which will be happening this weekend. Half marathon run, not full marathon run. Not yet. It's my race tag, and this is the shirt that came with it. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look. I'm a bit skeptical. When I was signing up for the competition, I said that I need 2XL. So this is 2XL. And when I was looking back at old photos of me, especially earlier in the year, 2XL was my normal size, if you know what I mean. It was fitting because I was bigger than this. But now that this is here, this is actually quite, it's quite okay. Yep. I think it'll be good. I don't want to wear it now because I didn't take a shower yet. Gotta take a shower and get ready for a day. I literally just woke up, so okay, that is there. This is there. I collected my race pack. The weekend will be the run, and I'll update you guys when the run is over and see how I did. Today we're going to be talking about More Better Human, the research project which I have decided that I'll be embarking on over the next few years. I talked about in the previous video, it's going to be a book or movie, that's the end point, but I think it's going to be way more than that. The reason why I want to do this in the first place is to learn how to feel more comforted with the future that is quite uncertain in a way, because as we know, robots are taking over, automation is taking over. Hopefully we don't get to a point where people will automate the experiences of the human living. I guess the main point of today is to explain to you why I called it More Better Human. It actually came from slang that I talk in Singapore. What it means is which one is better in a very broken English form. Let's say you're buying a certain car. Car A comes with this, car B comes with this, and then the person will ask, oh, okay, so which one is more better? And I was thinking about this because a lot of people like to make fun of people who say, you know, sentences like this, but that's the speech pattern that they talk at. And I started to question where automation cannot recreate speech pattern like this as of now. Because you need to be in the environment of living with people who speak this type of language, which will allow you to understand how to speak it in a certain way. Because I went into the GPTs and all the AI, trying to come up with a script that Singaporeans would talk about on something very basic. And what it came up with was something very robotic, which I found it's too clinical in a way that it is structured to fit how stereotypically we would speak. So coming in with this thought, I was just thinking that, oh, since no one can really replicate this, and this is like the last piece of what is human, that's why I decided to name it More Better Human. So it's a play on words where if we're thinking about going to the future to become better humans, what is the better version of the humans that we are right now? Now we are living in the world of evolution, technology, but in the future, I'm not sure how can we come back to being human. There are answers out there, but not enough for me to feel comforted. That's why this whole project is why I am doing this project. So essentially that is More Better Human. But besides just saying about being more better human, I guess for me the entire year was spent in front of the computer rather than actually going out to really enjoy the world. So there was a lot of getting outside my comfort zone, but not really physically getting outside my room. Most of it was just editing, research, trying to grow a business from my home, my own room, which worked out, but not worked out to the point where I could be free enough to experience being human. I bought some coffee. Right, there's this idea that I really wanted to run you guys through. Over here, I have actually made a new Instagram account. The reason why this account exists is because this is where I'll be posting my research on, which has nothing to do with my own current Instagram account. And I was also thinking that I might want to be creating a new YouTube channel, mainly just for the research itself, because from a video standpoint, I think it might be a bit boring where it's not really vloggy, it's just talky, and you know, I don't want this whole channel to become very talky. So that's why I'm thinking that I would just dedicate a channel, because it would not only be an archive of just the research itself, it will just be a channel that's dedicated to like studying, learning, and that kind of thing. That's why I created 2 accounts. The other reason is that I have run into this issue of professionalism versus fun. When I come into Instagram, I am technically there for fun, because it's a fun thing. After work, you just want to scroll and just have fun, share funny stories, and yeah, that's basically how I use Instagram. But I felt that Instagram has become, or at least people on my personal account has become like a marketplace to sell yourself. A lot of financial agents, a lot of real estate agents are all using their own personal accounts as a very confusing type of way to use it, because they are selling both themselves and also their fun times with the work that they do. I get very confused, because can you imagine you have a financial advisor talking about, here, invest this and save money here, you can buy my package here, or that kind of thing. The next story, they are at a bar, they're drinking, they are like, oh, YOLO, right? And we're just drinking, and I don't know how to feel about that. But I just know that that's very weird. There isn't a separation between what is work and what is not. I think that's the biggest thing. And the other problem, which I think I mentioned before in previous videos, was how I would be kind of mistaken for an influencer. Like I would make Insta reels and then post them up, and then that's where I become an influencer and sort of like get views and that kind of thing. But that's not really my kind of thing to do. The reason why I created Instagram in the first place was really just to have fun, and whatever I'm sharing is spontaneous, because that's it. It was never to grow an account. And a lot of people, when they meet me and they say, whoa, you're a filmmaker, so therefore you make videos, therefore you post on Instagram, therefore you are an influencer. And I'm like, no, that's not me. I post because I post. So with that problem in mind, the reason why I want to create a whole new Instagram account was to separate what is work, what is play. That was it. So in the same manner, when I create a new YouTube account, one will be just for research and projects which I am doing based off I kind of wrote it down somewhere, the stuff that I'm doing, and the other one will be really just for fun, the NickyAdopt one. It's something that I really have held on to for the longest time, because I still like, oh, I really like the name. It means a lot to me. It's part of my whole branding, my personality, and how I like to portray myself, because NickyAdopt is not just a name, it is it means difference. You know, I grew up being very different. I grew up in an environment where everyone said that I was different. I felt different. Therefore, when that name suddenly came to mind, I was like, oh, I am adopted. That's why I feel that that is, you know, it gets people talking. It's like, oh, why do you name yourself NickyAdopt? It's like, oh, well, I'm adopted. It's like, oh, why would you just tell people that you're adopted? It's like, well, a lot of people don't know a lot about me, and I think it's a good stepping stone to bring a conversation up. That's why I decided to call myself NickyAdopt. So, and you know, it's just nice 10 characters rather than a whole Chin Yong Sen Nicholas, which is so long where you cannot put in like name tags and things like that. It's so weird. So that's why I really like my name, NickyAdopt. So yeah, what do you guys think? Hopefully you can just engage in the comments and just tell me, so I can get an idea of get out of my head, hopefully. But yes, all in all, that is the video for today. As you can tell, I really don't do much after doing all of that fun stuff. I'm just going to be sitting in front of the computer for the rest of the day, and that's all you're going to be seeing. So this is the whole reason why I decided to also, you know, start to phase out a lot of the work that I'm doing this year. It's time to go and think where I'm going to the next year, because I don't want to be living like this anymore. I feel that it's a bit too much in terms of just sitting around, and I don't want my entire life to be revolved around one room, sadly. So hopefully you learned something about me today, and I will see you guys on the next video. That's all I have to say for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. My name is NickyAdopt, and I hope to see you guys on the next adventure. Goodbye.